If you are into extreme torture, if you want to experience even more struggles in the game world than in real life, if you want to spend hours and hours just walking around and dying achieving absolutely nothing, but still wanting to play more, then this game might be just for you. Behold, the Outward, the game like no other game out there. You may think that I'm over-exaggerating, but not really. Please let me explain myself. On paper, Outward is absolutely nothing special. You may think it is just another RPG fantasy game developed by indie company, but you would be so wrong. You see, Outward includes many important gameplay aspects that makes this game like no other game out there. Let's go from the start. When you start the game, pretty quickly you come into a realization that this is a survival game, almost as much as it is an RPG game. You are hot, cold, want to eat, drink, you are practically blind in a cave or nighttime. And these are not just some quirks which really mean nothing. You have to base your gameplay pretty much around them. You have to search for food and appropriate attire all the time, otherwise you die. There are many survival games out there, but this game in its core is still an RPG game with magic, beasts and fantasy with determined storyline. You have to get through all this while managing your survival. Do you know any other game like this? Please let me know in the comments if you do, but survival aspect is just one of the reasons why this game stands out. When you wander outside the village for the first time, the thing you probably meet is this white bird, bloodlusting your first fight and brilliant victory over the weakest enemy in the game. You rush into the fight, unsuspecting a thing. Then you wake up in a bandit over an outpost, stripped of all of your things, with only a hope to get out alive. You would probably want to load your game, but then you realize there is no load and save option at all. You have to recover from this state through playing. I just described two more of the game main concepts which make this game to stand out. All the enemies are very powerful, even the bird. Of course, at the end of the game you are stronger, but still, you can't take the bird lightly. Oh, how much I hate him, because this coward, unlike other enemies, starts to run away if half of its health drops, and it is hard to catch and kill him. The other concept is that you don't die in this game and you can't save. Game saves itself while you are sleeping or moving between main areas. This makes losing to enemies extremely impactful. The loss matters because you have to recover from it, get your health bar full, find the location you were before the fight and recover your things. All this takes time and effort. The another important thing which goes hand in hand with the things I described before is that this isn't really an RPG game. It kinda is and kinda isn't. Why? Because there is no character experience leveling system in this game. It doesn't matter if you kill everything moving around you, that will not make you stronger in any way in this game. You get stronger only through gear and some special abilities you can obtain from trainers. This is just like in real life, that's why the bird is still dangerous even at the end of the game. You may have much better things and weapons, but as a character you are not really that much different comparing to the start of the game. This stuff forces the player to consider all the fights. Is it worth it? Every fight feels meaningful and every victory is important, which makes this game very rewarding, but also really frustrating at the same time. I usually don't get frustrated at games, and I actually find it kinda silly to get upset because of a game. But I just can't with this one. This game is absolutely crazy. I don't recommend it if you get upset easily, and I love this game. But there are even more things which makes this game to stand out. There is no game map in its usual form. The map exists, but you, as a player, have no idea where you are on the map. This is just like navigating paper map in the real world. To evaluate where you are, you have to consider notable geographical objects around you. They are marked on this map, and this way you can navigate. However, the dungeons in this game are completely unmapped and you have to remember your way. The game doesn't excel in graphics as it is an indie game, but still it looks beautiful. The game areas are interesting and diverse, from the seaside village to the scorching desert. This is what the game offers, and this makes it even more difficult because these areas require completely different gear to survive. If you cycle through these areas, you have to carry different attire, which adds weight to the bag, and it is not without its limits. The important aspect of the Outward is exploration. Each area has its points of interest, and sometimes you are completely unaware of what you may find. Also, it's important to note that not all of the points of interest are mapped. You can find some completely unmarked things here. Let's talk about the main weakness of the game. This is a walking simulator in its most direct sense. The game has pretty large areas and there is no other way of transport than walking. No fast travel exists in this game, and that is crazy. You walk around for hours and hours, and insane difficulty makes matters much worse. But this is how this game is. Behold, the Outward, the king of gaming insanity. The long walking and extreme difficulty completely overshadows game's story, and I think that this is intentional, because this is one of the shortest games there is, if you play it just for the story. There is not that much to say about it rather than that it's short. It's not a great story, but I think it's not a terrible one either. It's just generic. If there were a way of faster travel and difficulty level were lower, player could end this game in a couple of hours. But this game is not about the story, it's about the exploration. And this is almost a deal breaker for me, because I like game stories and I like cutscenes. Also, I don't play for the exploration, but there is one last and main thing I haven't talked about. The reason why I give this game 10 out of 10 without a question. The reason which elevates this game to one of the best games I have ever played. And it is that this game is a modern action RPG 2-player split-screen game. I can't emphasize this enough. This is the thing which industry has lost, and it is one of the reasons why I game at all. The co-op experience makes this game to feel so alive and so perfect. Yes, I would consider if I really need to buy next GTA game or Elder Scrolls game, but would buy next Outward game without a question. But great power comes with great responsibility. Should you play this game as a single player experience? I don't know, because I haven't done it and I don't know what you like. The single player footage is just for this video to look better. I leave this for you to decide. In the end, I give this game 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching.